Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavata-uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 12. The conversation between Maharaj Rahugana and Jadabharata. Rahuganuvacha Namo Namah Karana Vigrahaya Swarupa Tuchikrita Vigrahaya Namo Vadhuta Dvichabandhulinga Nigudha Nityanubhavaya Tubhyam. King Rahugana said, O most exalted personality, you are not different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By the influence of your true self, all kinds of contradiction in the Shastras have been removed. In the dress of a friend of a Brahmana, you are hiding your transcendental blissful position. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Jvaramayātrasya yathagadam sat nidhaga sorry nidaga dagdasya yatah imambaha kudehamana hi vidashta drishte brahman vachote amrita anushad me. O best of the Brahmanas, my body is filled with dirty things, and my vision has been bitten by the serpent of pride. Due to my material conceptions, I am deceased. Your nectarian instructions are the proper medicine for one suffering from such a fever, and they are cooling waters for one scorched by the heat. Tasmad bhavantam mama samsayartham prakshami paschad adhuna subhodham adhyatma yoga gratitam tavoktam akyahi kautuhala chetaso me. Whatever doubts I have about a particular subject matter, I shall ask you about later. For the time being, these mysterious yoga instructions you have given me for self realization appear very difficult to understand. Please repeat them in a simple way so that I can understand them. My mind is inquisitive and I want to understand this clearly. यद् आह योगेश्वर दृश्यमानं क्रियाफलं सद् व्यवहारमूलं न हि अञ्जसा तत्त्वविमर्शनाय भवान् अमुष्मिन् भ्रमते मनो मे. O master of yogic power, you said that fatigue resulting from moving the body here and there is appreciated by direct perception, but actually there is no fatigue. It simply exists as a matter of formality. By such inquiries and answers, no one can come to the conclusion of absolute truth. Because of your penetration of this statement, my mind is a little disturbed. Brahmana uvacha ayam jano nama chalan prithivyam yah parthiva kasya hetoho tasyapi changrayor gulfa jangha januru madhyora sirodharamshaha amshedidaurvi shibikachayasyam sauvira rajeti apadesha aste yasmin bhavan rudha nijabhimano rajamsi sindhushva iti durmadandaha. The self-realized Brahmana Jadabharata said, among the various material combinations and permutations, there are various forms and earthly transformations. For some reason, They move on the surface of the earth and are called palanquin carriers. Those metal transformations which do not move are gross metal objects like stones. In any case, the material body is made of earth and stone in the form of feet, ankles, calves, knees, thighs, torso, throat, and head. Upon the shoulders is the wooden palanquin, and within the palanquin is the so called king of Shauvira. The body of the king is simply another transformation of earth, but within that body, your lordship is situated and falsely thinking that you are the king of the state of Shauvira. Sochyanimam tvam adhikashtadinam विष्ठ्या निगृह्णन् निरनुग्रहोऽसि जनस्य गोप्तास्मि विकटः मानो न शोभसे वृद्ध सौभासु दुष्टः. It is a fact, however, that these innocent people carrier, carrying your palanquin without payment are certainly suffering due to this injustice. Their condition is very lamentable because you have forcibly engaged them in carrying your palanquin. This proves that you are cruel and unkind. Yet, due to false prestige, you were thinking that you were protecting the citizens. This is ridiculous. This is ludicrous. You were such a fool that you could not have been adored as a great man in an assembly of people advanced in knowledge. यदा क्षिता एव चराचरस्य विदामनिष्ठां प्रभवं न चित् प्रभवं च नित्यं तन्नामतोऽन्यद् व्यवहारमूलं निरूप्यतां तत् क्रिययानुमेयम्. All of us on the surface of the globe are living entities in different forms. Some of us are moving and some not moving. All of us come into existence, remain for some time, and are annihilated when the body is again mingled with the earth. We are all simply different transformations of the earth. Different bodies and capacities are simply transformation of earth that exist in name only. For everything grows out of the earth, and when everything is annihilated, it again mingles with the earth. In other words, we are but dust, and we shall be dust. Everyone can consider this point. एवं निरुक्तं क्षितिशब्दवृत्तम् असन्निधानात् परमानवो ये अविद्यया मनसा कल्पितास्ते येषां समूहेन कृतो विशेषः. One may say that varieties arise from the planet Earth itself. However, although the universe may temporarily appear to be the truth, it ultimately has no real existence. The Earth was originally created by a combination of atomic particles, but these particles are impermanent. Actually, the atom is not the cause of the universe, although some philosophers think so. It is not a fact that the varieties found in this material world simply result from atomic juxtaposition or combination. एवं कृशं स्थूलम् अनुबृहत् यत् असच्च सज्जीवम् अजीवम् अन्यत् द्रव्यस्वभावाशयकालकर्म नाम्ना जया वेहि कृतः द्वितीयम्. Since this universe has no real ultimate existence, the things within it, shortness, differences, grossness, skinniness, smallness, bigness, result, cause, living symptoms, and materials are all imagined. They are all pots made of the same substance, earth, but they are named differently. The differences are characterized by the substances, nature, predisposition, time, and activity. You should know that all these are simply mechanical manifestations created by material nature. ज्ञानं विशुद्धं परमार्थ एकम् अनन्तरं अबहिर्ब्रह्म सत्यं प्रत्यक् प्रशान्तं भगवच्छब्द संज्ञं यद्वासुदेवं कवयो वदन्ति. What then is the ultimate truth? The answer is that non-dual knowledge is the ultimate truth. It is devoid of contamination of material qualities. It gives us liberation. It is the one without a second, all pervading and beyond imagination. The first realization of that knowledge is Brahman. Then Paramatma, the super soul, is realized by the yogis who try to see him without grievance. This is the second stage of realization. Finally, full realization of the same supreme knowledge is realized in the Supreme Person. All learned scholars describe the Supreme Person as Vasudeva, the cause of Brahman, Paramatma, and others. रहुगणैतत्तपसा न याति न चेद्यया निर्वपणाद् न छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्यैर्विना महत्पादरजोऽभिषेकम्. My dear King Rahugana, unless one has the opportunity to smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of great devotees, one cannot realize the absolute truth. One cannot realize the absolute truth simply by observing celibacy, brahmacharya, strictly following the rules and regulations of household or life, leaving home as a vanaprastha, accepting sannyasa, or undergoing severe penances in winter by keeping oneself submerged in water, or surrounding oneself in summer by fire and the scorching heat of the sun. There are many other processes to understand the absolute truth, but the absolute truth is only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee. यत्रोत्तमश्लोकगुणानुवादः प्रस्तूयते ग्राम्यकथाविघातः निसेव्यमानोऽनुदिनं मुमुक्षोर्मतिं सतीं यच्छति वासुदेवे. Who is the pure devote who are the pure devotees mentioned here? In an assembly of pure devotees, there is no question of discussing material subjects like politics and sociology. In an assembly of pure devotees, there is discussion only of the qualities, forms, and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is praised and worshipped with full attention. In the association of pure devotees, by constantly hearing such topics respectfully, even a person who wants to merge into existence of the absolute truth abandons this idea and gradually becomes attached to the service of Vasudeva. Aham pura bharato नाम राजा विमुक्तदृष्टा श्रुता संगबन्धः आराधनं भगवत ईहमानो मृगो भवं मृगसंगात् धरातः. In a previous birth, I was known as Maharaj Bharata. I attained perfection by becoming completely detached from material activities through direct experience, and through indirect experience, I received understanding from the Vedas. I was fully engaged in the service of the Lord, but due to my misfortune, I became very affectionate to a small deer, so much so that I neglected my spiritual duties. Due to my deep affection for the deer, in my next life, I had to accept the body of a deer. सा मां स्मृतिर्मृगदेहपे कृष्णार्चन प्रभवानो जहाति अतोऽहं जनसंगादसंगो विसन्कमानो विवृतश्चरामि. My dear hero king, due to my past sincere service to the Lord, I could remember everything of my past life even while in the body of a deer. Because I am aware of the fall down in my past life, I always keep myself separate from the association of ordinary men. Being afraid of their bad materialistic association, I wander alone, unnoticed by others. तस्मा नरो संग सुसंग जाता ज्ञानासीने हैव विवृक् विवृक्न मोहः हरिं तद्ईह कथन श्रुताभ्यां लब्धा स्मृतिर्याति अतिपारम अद्वनः. Simply by associating with exalted devotees, anyone can attain perfection of knowledge, and with the sword of knowledge can cut to pieces the illusory associations within this material world. Through the association of devotees, one can engage in the service of the Lord by hearing and chanting Shravanam Kirtanam, Thus, one can revive his dormant Krishna consciousness and sticking to the cultivation of Krishna consciousness, return home back to Godhead, even in this life. Hare Krishna. Yeah, this ends the chapter 12 from the fifth canto entitled The Conversation Between Maharaj Rahugana and Jadabharat. Okay, again, so much to offer for intellectual heads, for philosophical uh, personalities, whoever want. This chapter is again telling because Jadabharat is speaking to Rahugan. He's saying, actually, King Rahugana is asking, "Oh, exalted personality, you are not different from the Supreme Lord. By the influence of your true self, all kinds of contradiction in Shastras have been removed." So, one should understand. Is it in this purport? No. But here we see contradiction. One of the reasons why in Hinduism there is a lot of um, atheistic dominance is mainly because in the end one is not able to understand things properly, and because why there is someone says A, someone says B, and A and B do not meet together. That's why, because we who is true, and because we cannot judge who is true, then that's why we say A and B both are wrong, or A or B is wrong, but cannot be that A and B can be right, because they think it's contradiction. Contradiction arises out of ignorance and passion. Yeah, that's why Maharaj Rahugana is saying, "Oh, this seems to be contradiction. All kinds of contradictions are removed when one takes shelter of a devotee, and only when one is created of misidentification of self with body, this is happening. These contradictions will be clarified." Rishabhadeva was direct incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Uh, and his son, Bharat Maharaj, who was now acting as Brahmana Jadabharat, has received his body from the cause of all causes. Therefore, he is addressed as Karana Vigrahaya. That is the reason here, that's the word used. Swarupa Tuchikrita Vigrahaya. One who is completely removed, who has completely removed all contradictions. That is the greatness of a devotee. Hmm. Krishna is saying, Lord Brahma is saying in Brahma Samhita, Sarva Karana Karanam, the Lord. And here, Jvara May, Jvara Mayashraya. So it is said, Arthraya, not Ashraya, Arthraya, one who is distressed. Arti, we have heard, one who is very distressed is called Arti. Uh, Artha means wealth. Arthi means one who is distressed. So here, Jwara, what kind of fever? Fever can be cured by my medicine, but sometimes medicine cannot cure diseases. Amrita, in the Bible, you can see, is the cure of all diseases. And what kind of Amrita here it is? Jada Bharat is the Amrit for Rahugan. Jada Bharat words were like Alexia, drinking eternity. Uh, this is the cure of all diseases. And what is the cure? Nectarian instructions. In the purport, Prabhupada mentions, what are the dirty things? The conditioned soul has a body full of dirty things, bones, blood, urine, stool, and so forth. Nonetheless, the most intelligent men in this material world think that they are these combinations of blood, bone, urine, and stool. The Vedas, the Vedic understanding is that soul is not this. The Vedic instructions are like nectar and cool water for one suffering from scorching heat. Uh, and Rahugana is saying, Tasmad Bhavantam Mama Samsayartham. Samshaya means doubt. Samshaya. What Samshaya do we have? Samshaya Artham means clarity from doubts. That is not clear. He's saying, the subject matter that is not clear for me, please tell me. Prakshyami. I am now requesting, please tell me. Please repeat them in a simple way so that I can understand. So King Rahugana is saying, oh, he understood that he is not experienced person. He understood that he is not intelligent person. He understood that Jada Bharat, in this form of Brahmana, is like a Lord personification. So here King Rahugana admitted he is ignorant, and that is very, very important. One who admits that oneself not intelligent, super intelligent, or brilliant, only can advance. One who is simple. Rather, if one thinks that I am intellectually quite some uh, advanced, then that is fall down. It said, we should make best out of a sadhu's darshan by inquiring, because they give us tattva jnana. When someone is coming and telling us how to advance spiritually, he is the qualified, he is a real guru, tattva guru. He is giving the spiritual essence. If someone is telling how to become rich, if someone is telling how to get rid of problems, if you do this for 14 weeks, 13 weeks, 20 times, whatever, and you can become more happy now, wealth and no. Tattva Gyan, one who is giving Tadvidhi Pranipatena, Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadeshyanti Te Jnanam, Jnaninas Tattva Darshinaha. That Jnana which is in the mind of Tattva Darshis who have seen the absolute truth, they can give that. So one should make best of it. When one's come across as such a sadhu, one should approach, serve him, please him, and inquire him and advance further. So we should desire to understand it clearly. Tasmad gurum prapadyeta jignasu shreya uttamam. Intelligent man must be very inquisitive to know the transcendental science deeply. Therefore, a guru is must. Prabhupada writes in the purport. Therefore, one must approach a guru. Although Jadabharat explained everything to Maharaj Rahugana, it appears that his intelligence was not perfect enough to understand clearly. Huh? So that's why Tadvidhi, and that's why he has inquired submissively. A challenging spirit before the spiritual master should be avoided if one is at all interested in learning Vedic instructions in depth. This is the conclusion of the third purport. And then it goes further. Yad aha yogeshwara drishya manam kriya phalam sad vyavahara moolam. See, vyavahara moolam means whose basis is etiquette alone. Vibhu. So it is said, uh, formal inquiries and answers about bodily concepts do not constitute real knowledge. The knowledge of absolute truth is quite different from formal understanding of bodily pains and pleasures. Huh? So formal. So this is what one should do. One should ask right questions. Brahman Uvacha, and then Jadabharat starts giving answers. He's saying, you know what? All the material things that you are seeing is just a matter of permutations and combinations. It's a combinations and permutations causing various forms. Some earth takes a form as a pot, and pot may take a form of a, what is it called? A sculpture, made of pot. In that way, these are all transformations of one form of the other, one form or the other of what? Earth. So just like how earth is changing into maybe some stones, and then similarly, the one who is holding or the carrying the palanquin, one second. So in this way, Jadabharat is telling to Rahugana that this material body is also made of earth and stone in the form of, for example, feet. Feet is made of earth material, ankles are made of earth material, calves, knees, thighs, body, throat, head, and also the shoulder that is carrying is also matter. And not only that, the body which is being carried in the palanquin is also matter. And upon and inside that is so called the king of Sauvira. He is not really, the Atma is different. Body of the king is simply another transformation of earth. But within that body, your lordship is situated and thinking you are as a king. So some move. So in this way, in the purport, I mean, Prabhupada is highlighting that here Jada Bharat is helping us to understand the difference between body and soul, and identity and misidentity. Uh, a real living force is the living entity, offspring of Vishnu. Everything comes from him. That is real knowledge. King was not having this knowledge and hence was rebuking the carriers. This is ignorance. When king's understanding is that the living entity is within the body and that when body is fatigued, the jiva also must be suffering. All this is on the platform of material nature, so material platform. Pain and pleasure are mental concoctions. Example given here is a child. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives this example. A child, uh, when very nicely decorated with heavy ornaments, neither he nor his parents think to take away the ornaments. Huh? So combinations and permutations are real, but has nothing to do with the life, with the living force, the soul. Soul and super soul are always apart from the bodily pleasure and pain. Then the question, is our suffering a fact or not? Yeah, come on, I have severe pain. Is this real or not? Jada Bharat says these carriers are carrying without payment and suffering due to this injustice. You forcibly engage them in carrying. This proves that you are cruel, unkind. Due to false prestige, you are thinking you are protecting them. Hmm. So fools in the assembly of advanced devotees are not appreciated. Hmm. So here, Jada Bharat is telling, king was proud of his designation, felt he has the right control of the citizens, he was causing trouble to them. But fact is not that. Hmm. When king thinks he is head and can utilize for sense gratification, it is error. King should follow Dharma Shastra. What is Dharma Shastra? In the purport, it says instructions. Should follow the instructions, not use public for one's benefit, protect citizens. In Kali Yuga, leaders have been thieves. We see some, we can see these qualities of deterioration, godless civilization. Humans will just be like animals. Lord will come as Kalki avatar to end this business. So this is what is mentioned. This is what has happened from uh, one can read more in this purport in the last paragraph, seventh. So it goes for all living entities of the globe are different forms. Some are moving, some are not moving. They come into existence, remain, and get annihilated. So transformation, transformation, transformation. We are talking about transformation of matter into different forms. And finally, he says, "We are but just dust, and we shall be but be dust." Uh, in the purport here, there is this wonderful explanation which tells about the nature. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. Prahlad Maharaj is saying, the knowledge of those who are not interested in knowing the original cause of all emanation is never perfect knowledge. Na te vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. So one cannot attain ultimate benefit. Yeah. A water pot, this example, a water pot made of earth can be used to carry water for some time. But ultimately, the pot is nothing but earth. Therefore, there is no difference between the pot and its original ingredient earth. It is simply a different transformation of the energy. In Chandogya Upanishad, it is said, Yatha Soumya Ekena Amrita Pindena Sarvam Mrinmayam Vignat Vignatam Shad Vacharambhanam Vikaro Namadeyam Mritiketi Eva Satyam. Means, if one studies the earth, he naturally understands the byproducts of earth. The Vedas therefore say, Yasmin Vignate Sarvam eva vijnata bhavati. And Mundoka Upanishad is saying that if one simply understands the original cause, Krishna, the cause of all causes, then naturally everything else is understood. So going further, so finally he says, one may say that varieties arise from the planet Earth itself. However, although the universe may temporarily appear to be truth, it ultimately has no real existence. So all these teachings that Jada is saying, and then he comes to the point. They're all pots made of same substance. Uh, the example of pot is the reference through which we should understand that everything is a manifestation of material energy. But what is absolute then? He's saying, Jnanam Vishuddham Paramartham Ekam. Ekam means one, Paramartham Ekam, the real giving the ultimate goal of life. Vishuddham, without contamination. Is what Jnanam. The supreme knowledge means it should be free from contamination and should give us the ultimate goal of life. Ekam. Anantaram tva abhir brahma satyam. Pratyak prashantam bhagavat chabda samyam yad vasudevam kavayo vadanti. Now, what is it said? All learned scholars describe the Supreme Person as Vasudeva, the cause of Brahma, Paramatma. So, that is the purpose. The great learned scholars and philosophers accept this after many, many births. Vasudevam Sarvameti Samahatma Sudurlabha. And then, the purport goes a little longer. I'll read very important. Sometimes so-called scholars, not knowing the constitutional position of Krishna, mislead people by saying that Krishna within is different from Krishna without. When Krishna says, Man mana bhava mad bhakto mad yaji mam namaskuru, so-called scholars advise the readers that it is not the person Krishna to whom we must surrender, but the Krishna within. So-called scholars, Mayavadis, cannot understand Krishna with their poor fund of knowledge. And what is the greatness of a devotee? Vina mahat padrajobhishekam. Hey, Raghugan, you can't understand all. Raghuganaita tapasa nayati. Tapasa means severe austerities. Nayati does not become revealed. It is said the knowledge cannot be revealed to a person even if one is great tapasvi. Na chejaya nirvapanad grahadva. If one is um, duties, yeah, if he has responsible duties, if he finishes, that also doesn't bring. The only way, the only way one can become successful is by what? Without Mahat Pada Rajobhishekam. Without the dust of the devotee's lotus feet, one cannot become successful. There are many other processes to understand the absolute truth, but it is revealed to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee. Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhakto govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. And then, who is such a pure devotee? Here it is said, where there is Bhagavata Katha, Yatrottama Shloka, where, in which place, Uttama Shloka Guna Anuvada, Guna, where the discussions of the pastimes of the Lord are there. Prastuyate Gramya Katha Vighatah, Nishevyamano Anudinam. Anudinam means every day. Mumukshuhu, a person who are very serious about getting out of material entanglement. Matim satim yachati vasudeve. This 13th slok is saying, where there is Bhagavad Katha discussing qualities, forms and pastimes of the Lord, he is praised and worshipped with full attention. In such assembly, when one hears, even if he wants to merge into the existence of absolute truth, abandons this idea and gradually it gets attached in the service of Vasudeva. Uh, so he is a pure devotee mentioned here. Uh, so such a pure devotee can elevate a person to, even if he is ready to go into hell, or even if he is ready to go to what is it called, Brahma Jyoti, just by contact of such a devotee, one's life changes for all good. Pure devotee is never interested in material topics. He discussions on Vishaya, Gramya Varta na Kahibe. One should not indulge in talking unnecessary, unwanted things. What is most important thing? Serving Krishna positively and seriously. That is the secret. He says, Aham Pura Bhava, and he starts telling who was he and then how did he fell down. I think we all know this. And it is all because of the 15th shloka, which is telling what? Bad association. because he started associating with the deer. Huh? Yeah, indirectly or directly, it is associating with the deer because he started thinking care and aware of about the deer. Sorry. In that, wandering alone and bad association is not recommended in Kali Yuga. Jada Bharat is realized and hence he is careful and avoids materialistic people. He says, no, 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 now I am not going to take the risk, so I'll be very careful. And how, what did he, and then it says, as a result, he was given a chance to be born as a family, in a family of Brahmana. Thus, his service to the Lord never went vain. And devotees association, it said tasma naro sangha, naro asanga, means simply by associating with exalted devotees anyone can attain perfection of knowledge. Why? And with the sword of knowledge can cut to pieces the illusory association within this material world. Through the association of devotees, one can engage in the service of the Lord by hearing and chanting. Thus, one can revive his dormant Krishna consciousness and sticking to the cultivation of Krishna consciousness, return home back to Godhead. You know, that's the most easiest. Yeah, of course, we struggle a bit, but still far, far easiest than any other means. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any thoughts or someone want to share anything? Hmm? Don't we feel, yeah, the situation of Rahu Gana is saying, hey, please tell us simple. I think it's still complicated to understand. Is it anyway easy till now? It's also not so easy. But if we understand by serving devotee, by getting the dust, smearing the dust or rolling in the dust of such a devotee dust, then one can advance. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। I go over. Yeah, next week we will continue with further instructions of Rahugana and sorry, of Jadabharat to Rahugana. And 13, I think two more chapters to finish this. Hare Krishna.
Hare